what I'm speaking, I have to tell you this, because it is your chance to see it. And we are up against seemingly a huge obstacle because of years of conditioning. Somehow seems to hold that kind of construct of me as the one who is the progressive entity going through life finding something. And that belief is so strong. Millions and millions of beings are in that state, searching, trying to put the jigsaw together, trying to find a strategy to get to a place of ultimate rest. But all that movement is happening in the land of relativity all the time. You are already that in which this play of relativity is taking place. You are already this. It is not enough that it stays as a belief. It has to be really recognized. It has to be recognized in the heart, and immediately the pressure, the fear of failure, the pressure to succeed, all of this drops away as totally illusory. You are this. You are this. And it is confirming itself. I have shown you the direct path that has no distance, actually. Only the distance of a thought. I am only showing you not a path, but a mirror. To look at something which has been missed. The missing of the obvious. And once we miss this obvious somehow, then you have a journey to go. Some people here, I've asked them this exercise, please do it. Keep your sense of I am just by itself. Simple thing. Keep it by itself. In the beginning, you do it for 5 to 10 minutes. Because in the beginning, you're going to get very tired. I want to emphasize the important, because today, for the moment, is the last satsang for now. Some of you are going to go away and you will never return anywhere as you were before. For some people, those bridges are burnt inside the heart. They are free. For others, they are in the smell of freedom. They are burning. They are in the burning gut of the ego. That is okay. That grace will continue. For others, they are more somehow sharpening, maturing within their own inquiry to see that inquiry does not need to be a heavy mental process. That inquiry is in self-inspired by grace. You see, you said grace visited you in 3 occasions. It visited a lot more, but you missed them. But those are the 3 ones that were memorable. And grace will bring constantly this inquiry and introduce new facets of inquiry spontaneously. Be patient, be trusting. It is doing that. Grace brought you here. Grace is serving you. Grace is another word for the truth of who you are. It's there. You are never out of grace. But this thing will come. I say to some of you, if you have to leave and you still feel you have not come, somehow your heart is not completely at rest, take this little exercise with you. The natural feeling of existence. Stay with it. Try to not allow it to identify with other thoughts, memory, images. Just try and do this for 5, 7 minutes, 10 minutes at a time. Then get up, take a break, go for a walk. And when you feel, go and sit again for another 5 minutes and develop a little bit of earnestness in this practice. In the beginning, just because I said this, keep it alone to itself. You're going to experience a lot of trouble. I'm going to give you some trouble, some very good trouble. Because when you do this, you'll begin to see how much noise you're living with. When we say this, you'll see how much noise you're living with. I've been saying if you go to any chai shop, any restaurant, sit quietly next to some people and just listen a little bit for 5 minutes, the nature of the conversations we have. How many times we say I, me, you, this, that, mine, like this, and then try and identify when they say I, what is it referring to? Is it consciousness or the body? And you'll have an idea of how much consciousness is identified with the body, maybe even in our own case, and you'll see where the mistake is lying, you see. And it's not something I want to tell people, try and correct this. I don't say correct this. I find a much easier way. Find the sense I am. That is already consciousness. Don't call it a person, a man, woman, or anything. Just feel a natural sense of being and go into solitary confinement with yourself. Just short periods for a while, and try not to go off with the other thoughts. Just keep it here. You will feel many times you lose. Somehow the attention is too strong for the distraction, for the past, or for image making, or for intention. It will keep going off. Each time you discover this, just when you're conscious, bring it back, just to stay and marinate in itself like this. Then it will come again, something, and then for a while you'll feel very tired. Maybe after 3 minutes, very tired. You think it's very mental work. It's not mental work. It's just that the mind is very strong, and it's attaching itself onto the beingness, so to speak. So just to isolate that presence through your own discernment might feel very difficult at first, but stick with it, and gradually you will start to feel somehow that the thought force is pushed off, and the feeling of presence is more strong. When that feeling of presence is being more and more by itself, you'll feel very peaceful, naturally happy, free of the mental disturbance, free of emotional disturbance, free from the need to be making decisions and running after things. You'll feel grand, beautiful, silent. Then thoughts come again, and again they'll come second attack. They gather up force and come again, and never mind, you again sit. With a little exercise, consistency, you'll find more space is being naturally with you for longer periods. At a certain point, it becomes effortless, not mental, not tiresome. As a thought arises, you will be able to identify immediately, this is not original to me, and you can leave it. And then something beautiful happens. An effortless and spontaneous discernment of what is an auspicious thought to follow and what is not will come by itself, without the need of identifying with the ego. It will manifest like this. So I just have to outline through these words these things, because they are of incredible value in maintaining your peace, securing your peace. Even I don't want to put maintaining, because there's nobody maintaining it. At the moment is your attention is being given the title of I, and that attention will maintain the peace somehow. So I know I've said many things. I don't want you to just write them down, but just to be listening to them in a kind of panoramic listening. Just open and listen without identity, because I am not speaking to you as a person speaking to another person. It's only the consciousness is conversing with itself. Consciousness is speaking with consciousness about consciousness. And when it listens like this, it's very different. It's not donkey work. It means that with your ability as consciousness, because you're not a name and form, you're not the body, you're not just the mind. You're more like a spacious intelligence even is operating in front of you. And like this, when you've understood, it's like automatically everything comes back into alignment by itself. This is the power of consciousness. This is why some great saint, master, Christ himself also say, trust in God, he says, trust also in me, because I have overcome the world. And this is a man that never left his homeland. How could he say, I overcome the world? He meant, I overcome the world here. I understood what it means, how the mind can work, all its ways, even cunning ways, subtle ways, and I've watched all of them from the place of being, and I am transcendental to them. I'm not caught up in the traffic of mind anymore. And such a one, he says, trust me, because only such a one is really trustworthy. Deeply. In any time, any occasion, any circumstance, any place, their being is constant, reliable. Not fickle. Not I love you today and tomorrow you upset me, I don't love you tomorrow. This is not love. This is why it's called awakening. I mean, wake up from this distortion.
Om Vedamurtyai Namaha. Om Vedabhutyai Namaha. Om Vedantayai Namaha. Om Vyavaharanyai Namaha. Om Anaghayai Namaha. Om Bhagavatyai Namaha.